Steph Curry has to be more like LeBron James. I know LeBron James get a lot of criticism for being le GM, as they say, where he's very involved in his teammates, where the direction of the team is headed, but it's resulted in success for him. He made the Lakers trade Lonzo and Brandon Ingram to get AD, and AD is now a top 75 player of all time. Just recently, he had D'Lo traded for Melton. It's worked out great for the Lakers. Steph Curry, one of his highest paid teammates, is Andrew Wiggins. Other than 2022, in 10 years, Andrew Wiggins has had one stellar season. LeBron James' vision is so far ahead because he made them. Wiggins was the number one pick, and if people don't remember, it was to the Cleveland Cavaliers, where LeBron made the GM trade Wiggins after they drafted him to get Kevin Love. Wiggins has been terrible these last 3 seasons. If you look at his last 5 games, he was shooting 1 for 7. I think the highest points he scored were 7 points per game. He did have a 21-point game in there, but it was like 5 points, 5 points, 7 points, 21 points. He's shooting horrendous. He doesn't love the game, you can tell. But all right, enough about Wiggins. Let's get on to some other points. So the Utah Jazz in the offseason offered Lauri Markkanen, their best player and all-star, for Brandon Podziemski. Mike Dunleavy said no because he said Brandon Podziemski is untouchable. That's a moment where Steph Curry needs to step in and say, we're making that trade. What the hell are you talking about? He's untouchable. Because now he is untouchable. Nobody wants him. You couldn't even get a bag of chips for him. He has to be more involved in the draft process. They drafted Wiseman over LaMelo. Steve Kerr even said LaMelo was far more talented. He was the most talented player we saw, but they wanted Wiseman, who barely played I think 4 games in college in total. They had to trade Jordan Poole. Him and Draymond were not going to work out. But he could have stepped in and said, don't trade him for Chris Paul. Fine, you traded him for Chris Paul. He should have stepped in when the Bulls offered Zach LaVine for Chris Paul and Andrew Wiggins this summer. Instead, the Golden State Warriors decided to cut Chris Paul, so they got nothing in return for that Jordan Poole trade. And they don't get Zach LaVine. You're stuck with Wiggins. And it's not even close. Andrew Wiggins is averaging 16 points. He's not effective shooting the ball. Whereas Zach LaVine this season, 22 points, 4.6, 4.3, and 50%. What I'm saying is Steph Curry needs to step in and say, I demand you trade for another all-star. I'm tired of playing with players like Lindy Waters, Podziemski, Gui Santos. I could name almost the whole roster, who are players who wouldn't start or play on any other team other than Golden State.